You know what I've got to bring up here, guys, at the start of the YouTube video? I've got to bring up the fact it's 2 a.m. That is the dedication I have to reading Guild Wars 2 blog posts to you. And goodness me, what news we have. We've got a bunch of quality of life stuff. And more importantly, look at these Twitch drops you guys can farm next week. Tradesman's Package, Bloodstone Ascender thingy, Bloodstone Rock, Bloodstone Glider. I mean, guys, come on. You gotta watch the stream. You gotta watch all of my streams, okay? Make multiple accounts. So keep watching more. More drops, guys. Let's go. No bag slot. Unlucky. They're saving that one for expansions. What can I tell you? But you can get some Bloodstone-themed skins, gliders and stuff, and a rock, a little pet rock. Very good stuff. So I'm afraid YouTube, you're going to have to venture over to Twitch if you want to feast on those. So get over here and bring your Twitch Prime while you're at it. Anyway, though, on to the actual news. We have got big convenience coming through, and kind of the big stuff is at the start, in my opinion. We know they talk a little bit about the Homestead Decoration improvement. We already knew about that, though, so let's talk about the stuff we don't know about. We have got basically portal books and Gobblers, pretty much. So what does this mean? It means that instead of having to carry around portal tomes for Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, Iceberg Saga, whatever, okay, Wizard's Tower, all of that is now getting compressed into one. That is big. If I open my character right now and I look at, enjoy that inventory. Yeah, enjoy that. Enjoy that. You know what's really funny? I'm derailing here. I get constant comments. I've got a YouTube short that is me, showing my inventory basically, and it like mentally destroys people. I get constant comments on it, like every day. People like begging for mercy, saying like, I can't even watch, I can't handle it. Drink it in, guys. Look at this Aether Key piece. Enjoy that. Anyway, back to the content. You'll see here, I've got the Portal Tome for Season 4. We got Arborstone. We got Iceberg Saga. We got Season 3. We got the Wizard's Tower. All of that is going into one, which actually feels really good, in my opinion. That is a massive win, okay, for my shared inventory slots. And also the same thing for the Gobbler as well, because I actually don't use these. These are actually surprisingly good to use, by the way. They give you a bit of free cash. They, like, feast on, you know, all your ascended materials a lot of the time. And you can, like, you know, do that. But one of the reasons why I actually don't bother with them is because I don't really have space in my shared inventory slots to actually use them, right? So they're on one I don't even know where they are, like sitting around all random characters I've got them, so I don't use them. So honestly, that's going to be really good because you are, of course, limited on how many inventory slots you can have. So compressing that all down actually makes like stuff like this a lot more usable. And, you know, I mean, am I going to use that? I might be a little bit too lazy, but listen, you might be less lazy than me, and you might do it. Either way, definitely pretty convenient. The way it's described here is that it does look like it's going to be a dialogue-based system, which I guess is okay. I was kind of hoping they were going to do some custom UI for this when they mentioned it at first, but I think the way it's going to be, right, is that you'll open the tome like this, and then it will list all of the different books, then you'll click again. So in other words, instead of being Istan, it will be like Season 3, Season 4, right? And then you'll click Season 3, and then it will open up all the Season 3 maps. You're going to click Season 4, it's going to open up all of the Season 4 maps like that. Would have been cool to have some custom UI, but honestly, it's basically 2 clicks to get anywhere. I mean, that's not the worst thing in the universe, is it? I think that's all right. Not too bad. And it's kind of the same with the Gobblers. The Gobbler, I think, will function very similar, right? Instead of having like one item, you know, you open this, you get a menu here. It's going to be you click, and you can select which Gobbler you want, and then it will open the little menu for you, and you can do that. So pretty nifty, if you ask me. A little bit of quality of life. Love to see that. Big inventory saving. Very nice. And of course, next, Rift Essence is converted to a warrant. This one is kind of big, man. Okay, because I don't know about you guys, but when I was cooking up some legendaries and, you know, just stuff that requires essence, like the new spear, for example, and, you know, legendaries, whatever. Man, essence is a pain in the ass. And I do a lot of, you know, when I've been playing actively, I do a lot of convergences, and it is so annoying. I think I actually have multiple characters on my account right now, even on the Zero to Hero account even, that are just storing essence, right? That's all they do is store essence, because you get so much of it, and of course, you need a lot of it, right? You need like stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of it, which is super annoying. So turning it into a currency is actually pretty nifty there as well. Kind of love to see that. Nice little upgrade there. Researcher, this is a bit of a pain point for a lot of people, I think. Although, I think it's not it's one of those things that it's not too bad if you know how. Like, research notes, in my opinion, are not that much of a big deal, because what I do is I just craft. I use the, automatically turn into notes feature on crafting. I just make a bunch of helmets, right? You buy insignias for cheap, you throw that in with some orichalcum, and then bam, you just salvage helmets. And it's pretty damn fast. But, if you can't be able to do that, you just want to click materials, get a recipe, you're going to get 150 research. And what's nice about this is you don't have to have crafting leveled up. Of course, a lot of the methods that I use for research notes that you might have seen on Zero to Hero, they actually, do require a little bit of crafting. But to be honest, that's not hard. I think a lot of people have crafting level to make legendaries. That's one of the things that you're going to need research notes for, of course. But, this is going to be nice. It'll be interesting to see how expensive this is, right? Because, of course, this could potentially influence the value of quite a lot of things, actually. They might actually lean it on the more expensive end for that reason in particular, right? They probably don't want this to be like a convenience thing. And typically in a game like Guild Wars 2, where they want the economy to be stable, you'll typically pay a little bit for convenience, right? Like, if you want things really easy and, just boom, click, get thing, it might be a little bit more on the expensive side compared to some of the other methods for acquiring research notes, especially because the whole point of research notes is to kind of drain a diverse number of materials out of the game. Basically, is to keep the price of things stable. Although I think maybe an approach they could take here actually is that maybe there's a couple of variants of these that take different materials, or maybe there's like different combination of materials you can like funnel into it. So it will still have kind of like a similar effect, or it might just have like a very broad reaching set of materials that again are essentially draining stuff out of the game. Next up is this one. Oh, look, this this is so funny, actually. Faction provisioners. So instead of having to... Basically, provisioner tokens are, in my opinion, the most hellish currency ever to have existed in this game, because it's the exact type of gameplay that I hate. Basically, you have a bunch of vendors all the way around HOT, and you can talk to each of them. They each want a little item, usually a crafted item, and you can trade that in and get a provisioner token once per day per vendor. And this is required for legendary armor and a bunch of other stuff as well. And this was horrific. I remember doing it, and I found it unbelievably soul-crushing. Like, one of the biggest things ArenaNet ever did was made it so that you got provisioner tokens from doing challenge mode content. So I never had to interact with the system ever again. Will I interact with the system now that you can get you can get a week of these in one go? No, because one, it's still painful in my opinion, and also it's just painful busy work, and also I don't need provisioner tokens, so I have no reason to do it. But if you need provisioner tokens, this will kind of make planning it a little bit easier. You can do all of your crafts, park characters next to it, log into them once a week, and then boom. Oh, also, back in the day, guys, check this out. Okay, this was hilarious. So I'm pretty sure that all of these vendors are always available now, but back in the day, some of them wouldn't be. They'd be like locked behind event chain completion and stuff like that. So back in my day, guys, it was even worse. To be fair, I think I did end up doing the ones that I didn't bother with, the ones that aren't always available. I think I basically just did the ones that are always available, because some of them are. But look, there's a story of the olden days of Guild Wars 2, huh? Showing my age there. So next up is the Commander's Choice Chest improvements. During your adventures, you might have accumulated a surplus of Hero's Choice Chests. So basically what they're doing here, this is round 2, basically, of we're trying to make it easier to spend choice chests in bulk. And they actually did this. They kind of let you talk to a vendor and kind of give up some of the loot, basically, at a bulk exchange vendor. But yeah, you'd still be able to like get them all in one go and just pick them, and then boom, pick whatever piece of loot you wanted and then do it. But you did lose value in the process. Now they're kind of basically going back on that a little bit. They're essentially saying, okay, we're going to let you trade in these Hero's Choices and some karma, and then boom, you'll basically be able to get, you get the whole thing, right? You get the bulk selection, and you get the guaranteed item as well. So basically you're trading karma for the ability to buy stuff in bulk, which is pretty nice. Personally, I've never really got a lot of use out of this. I do typically open Hero's Choice chests when I get them, but apparently a lot of people hoard them. So I think this is going to be really nice, because if you've got a lot of Hero's Choice chests, you're going to have a lot of karma. Oh, I've gone to Dragonfall, guys. Goodness me. What an adventure we're going on. But I mean, how much karma have I got? 79 million? It's kind of a lot, so I probably wouldn't run out of that. And yeah, it's going to work just like the Janthir Renown chest. So basically, you're going to open this Commander's Choice chest, basically, and it's going to give you like a list of stuff, and you can just like click on it. You'll be able to buy them in bulk, which is actually pretty nifty. And of course, we talked about this in the last video, but we have the Homestead Decoration limit increase. I think this is pretty good. To be honest, I'm actually not sure if this is necessarily even going to be enough, by the way. 2,000 sounds like a big number, but I actually have spoken to some kind of homestead aficionados, and they say that they find 1,000 to be extremely limiting in the current state, and that, you know, they find it difficult to actually kind of decorate like exactly how they'd want it, like across all of this space, you know, and build the house of their dreams. So I think 2,000 would help, but I'm actually I'll be very interested if they actually end up increasing that over time as well, and also, you know, additional iteration improvements to homesteads. Just in general is the deal. And yeah, you've got some new home instance nodes, guys. Oh my god. Oh my god. But yeah, honestly, this is pretty good. Like, I think inventory space is one of the really big pain points, I think. There's a reason why people are pretty excited about these changes, and it's because I think a lot of people's inventories look like mine. I think mine is probably on the worst end, but, you know, there's a reason why people are hyped about this, and it does make, actually, in particular, if you are a proud owner of a bunch of shared inventory slots, it definitely helps out with that and kind of makes these a little bit more valuable, a little bit more efficient in that regard. But yeah, that's some quality of life stuff. So a little bit of a quick news video here today, guys. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know how excited you are to farm Twitch drops, guys, because let me tell you, I'm excited to farm you guys. Oh yeah. So stay tuned for that. Of course, I will be streaming like an absolute degenerate, I think. That goes without saying. Going to be blasting those Convergent CMs. The new meta event as well, guys. Hopefully we're getting another Dragon's End. Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you guys ready for Dragon's End round 2? Let's fracture and break the community in half. Okay, we didn't do 1,000 Dragon's Ends, but maybe we're going to do 1,000 Bavanisoses. Oh, speaking of which, I will actually be attempting, unironically, a special event soon. Okay, and actually, listen, all of you watching this, I'm gonna need you to get ready to commit, okay? I am gonna ask something of you guys that I know I'm asking a lot, but at some point in the future, maybe even I might try and do this during Drops Week on the weekend. I want to see if we can get over 1,000 people doing Dragon's End at the same time across EU and NA. That would be basically a total. It's about 60 players per map, so that will be 17 maps of Dragon's End running at the same time. Okay, there's some context here. I said I would, a long time ago, we were planning an event that unfortunately didn't ever really come through. That was going to be, we want to try and do literally 1,000 Dragon's Ends within 1 week. That didn't happen. Okay, we've changed it up a little bit. We've gone in a different direction, but it will still be exciting. So stay tuned for that. We might try and do that on the weekend with all the drops and just go absolutely berserk and get loads of people doing the legendary C1 event. Or, honestly, if this new event is fire, we could try and do it in this one as well. We could even go for the double. We could do like 1,000 people doing a Dragon's End at the same time, and then directly into even more people doing Bavanis at the same time. But of course, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, okay? We need to see how good this meta event actually is before we get there. But yeah, basically, I'm going to be streaming like a total degenerate. Follow the stream, okay? Buy Guild Wars 2 using my referral link. Get ready to peel your eyeballs open to watch the stream for 6 hours to funnel yourself. The Bloodstone Rock, man, I'm telling you. You want to get that. Get that Bloodstone Rock for sure. Look at that little guy. But anyway, that's going to do it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this little video. Let me know what you think in the comments. And of course, I will see you there for the launch of Absolution on June 3rd at normal Guild Wars 2 patch time. Okay? And you know what? I'm not going to tell you guys when the patch drops. Because seriously, Guild Wars 2 has released patches at the same bloody time for 10 years. And people always go, oh, when's the patch, guys? When's the patch dropping? Anyone here know when the patch is dropping? It's the same time every 2 weeks for the last 10 years. How can we not know that? It's ridiculous. Anyway, I don't want to derail and inflate the YouTube video any more than it needs to be. This is going to be one of those memes where it's going to turn out that the video is just barely over 10 minutes for the perfect ad revenue thing. Although, I think that actually doesn't apply anymore, to be honest. It's all about Zoomer Shorts content these days, man. Okay, I should turn this video into like 10 YouTube Shorts. That's how we're getting rich. But anyway, that's going to do it. Shout out to YouTube. Thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, that's going to do it. I'll see you next time. Leave your thoughts below, or don't. It's really up to you, isn't it? That's it. I'm out.